This is our limnology final assignment, zebra mussels, an invasive species, presented by Brandon Ponting and Matthew Catling. What is a zebra mussel? Zebra mussels are also called bivalves. This means they have two shells or valves, a right valve and a left valve. The zebra mussel gets its name because of the dark stripe pattern on each valve. Usually the shell is a light color, tan or beige, with the zigzag stripes. However, some are almost completely all brown and the stripes are not pronounced. Even more rare are those nearly all light colored with little striping at all. The zebra mussel's origins. Common name is the zebra mussel. The scientific name is Drenzena polymorpha. Subcategory would be a freshwater mussel. It's a shellfish. Invasive species types would include Mollusca, Bivalvia, Veneroida, and Drenzenidae. Their native range is the Caspian or Black Sea. Their invasive range would be the Great Lakes and surrounding areas of fresh water. The time of invasion, well, they were discovered in the 1988.
Habits of zebra mussels. Zebra mussels can survive up to 5 days out of water. They live only in fresh water and attach themselves to any underwater surface. They are about the size of a fingernail but can grow up to 5 centimeters long. They need flowing fresh water to thrive, so they are not as much of a problem in quiet lakes and bays. A female is able to lay up to 30,000 to 100,000 eggs during a single breeding season. The only natural control of the species is diving duck. Zebra mussels spread downstream during their free-swimming larval stage. Dispersal upstream and into inland rivers and lakes occur with human activity.
The invasion process. Zebra mussels invaded Ontario's waters in the late 1980s. They did this through the ballast waters from transoceanic ships carrying villigers, also known as larvae, as well as bottoms of boats and marine equipment. Zebra mussels are dumped from live wells, and older ones attach themselves to the boats. Trailer boats are to blame for spreading the mussels throughout the freshwater lakes and rivers in the Great Lakes Basin once they were introduced there in the late 1980s. The cooling water left in the engine doesn't allow zebra mussels to grow. This is because the hulls are protected with anti-fouling paint. Colonization of zebra mussels. Since the invasion of zebra mussels, there has been a decline in the numbers of Diphoria, which normally make up to 70% of the living biomass in a healthy lake bottom. Species such as whitefish and other prey fish, including alewife, bloater, smelt, sculpin, directly depend on Diphoria as a food source. Mussels are capable of heavily colonizing hard and soft surfaces, including docks, boats, breakwalls, and beaches. These colonizations are also responsible for clogging intake structures in power stations and water treatment plants.
The life cycle of a zebra mussel. Within 2 to 3 weeks, the veligers settle and attach to strong byssus threads to hard surfaces such as rock, wood, glass, rubber, fiberglass, metal, gravel, and native mussels. They grow best in areas of free-flowing water where they can filter out large quantities of plankton. Colonies of zebra mussels may accumulate and clog water intake pipes and screens of drinking water facilities, industrial facilities, power generating plants, golf course irrigation pipes, cooling systems of boat engines, and boat hulls. This is an example of zebra mussels and how they multiply so fast and are able to take over hard surfaces. Effects on the environment. Because clogging pipes and devouring most of the available microscopic food supply, zebra mussels may present a health hazard by increasing human and wildlife exposure to organic pollutants, such as PCBs and PAHs. Zebra mussels can accumulate the pollutants in their tissues in concentrations 300,000 times greater than in the environment. They deposit these pollutants as pseudocephes, loose pellets of mucus mixed with particulate matter that they have filtered from the water. Scavenging animals that eat the pseudocephes may pass through these pollutants and up the food chain. When the zebra mussels coat bathing beaches, the sharp-edged mussels cut the tender feet of swimmers. Over time, water clarity increases, allowing sunlight to penetrate to greater depths.
Zebra mussels and botulism. Zebra mussels feed by filtering plankton in the water. Over time, water clarity increases, allowing sunlight to penetrate to greater depths. In turn, this allows mats of algae to grow in deeper water. Meanwhile, other recent addition to the Great Lakes ecosystem is a bottom-dwelling minnow-sized fish called the round goby. As the algae mats decay, they become anaerobic and depleted of oxygen, an environment in which botulism bacteria thrives. In some places, the algae blankets can be several feet thick. Gobies live in and around the algae and pick up the toxin produced in the bacteria. In turn, susceptible fish-eating birds such as loons, mergansers, and gribs, as well as gulls and cormorants, eat the gobies and become poisoned. Botulism attacks the nervous system, leaving the birds unable to control their wings and eventually their neck muscles to lift up their heads. Death is slow and at the very least unpleasant and painful.
One theory suggests that the onset of fall weather and the turnover of the water column in the lakes could make the botulism toxin more acceptable to fish and birds. In the short term, little can be done to stop the die-offs. Regulators haven't figured out a way to eliminate invasive species like zebra mussels. As other bait fish species like alewaves and smelt have declined, gobies have become a favorite alternative for lake trout and occasionally salmon and other trout species. Zebra mussels in Lake Simcoe. Invaded in 1994. It is believed that they were introduced by boats that were transported by trailer from other affected lakes. We don't know everything about their effect yet, but it's believed that it's due to their rapid, widespread establishment and their high filter feeding capacity. They have likely impacted water quality in Lake Simcoe in numerous ways. These include increased water clarity, reduced algae, and lower alkalinity in calcium concentrations. Zebra mussels are also thought to affect phosphorus cycling in lakes by converting particulate-bound phosphorus to more reactive forms by increasing concentrations near the shore.
7 steps to prevent the spread of zebra mussels. This applies more to people using boats, however also fishermen. Drain water from the bilge, live wells, bait buckets, trailers, and wheels. Wash bait wells with hot water. Do not transport bait from an infested area. Rinse the hull with hot water, high pressure washer, or dry in the sun for 5 days. Flush the engine cooling system with hot water, 140 degrees Fahrenheit or higher. Carefully inspect screens and water intakes and drain pipes for mussels. Leave the boat out of water for 3 or more days in hot, dry weather to kill the mussels and larvae. However, they can survive up to 5 days.